Hi. So before we get into actually building a web application, a simple one, I wanted to go over a couple of definitions that you're going to encounter, and it's kind of cool to know because we're going to actually go and look at what's happening behind the scenes whenever we call upon a website prior to building one. So the definitions I want you to be familiar with, for one, are protocol. So basically what a protocol is the language that programs speak over a network. So think of this like a real person. A Chinese person can only communicate with someone who speaks and understands Chinese if they only speak Chinese. English speaker could only communicate with someone that understands English and can speak it. This applies to programs as well as browsers. Websites use something called an HTTP or HTTPS protocol in order to communicate with our browser and show us a website. So our browser will speak in this HTTP language, asking for a website, and the website server, the computer that actually holds the website, will understand what we're asking for and send the website back. Okay, so if protocol is the language spoken by applications, how would we say what is the words that an application uses or a protocol uses? What are the words in a protocol? So in networking tech, a word is basically called a packet. A packet's the equivalent of a word in networking. So a word in a particular language, which is a protocol, is sent over the network and is understood by the receiving side. We're going to actually get to have the privilege of looking at a packet in a moment. The next definition you should be familiar with, and you probably heard at some point in your life, is IP address. We will also be taking a look at this. An IP address, or an internet address, Internet Protocol address, is used to tell other computers where your computer is located on a network. You can use the ipconfig /all to find your IP address and your machine address via command prompt, which we'll be doing in a moment. Machine address. A machine address is a unique hardware number that identifies your computer. This is hard to envision, so let's take a look at this in a moment. Let's take a look at this right now. The program we're going to be using is command prompt. The programs we're going to be using is command prompt, as well as an internet sniffing tool called Wireshark. Sniffing is basically looking at network data. So let's take a look at what happens.